Hey guys, so it is the dreaded week 13 in iRacing this week, and it's actually been about 3 weeks since I've even driven my simulator. I've been absolutely flat out with other stuff the last couple of weeks, but yeah, today I have the opportunity to drive. I actually just lost a contract for my work, so I have a lot of free time right now, and yeah, sort of trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing with all of that. So I just kind of needed to go for a drive tonight, so I thought good opportunity to take a spin in the brand newly released Porsche 718 Cayman GT4. So I'm going to take a quick drive around Road America tonight, just on our own, and just see what this car's like, see how it handles, see what it's like to drive, and also check out the new damage model as well. So let's hit the track. Okay, so they call it the, is it this car or is it the Boxster that they call the poor man's Porsche? I can never remember whether it's the Cayman or the Boxster or both, the poor man's Porsche. But anyway, we'll see what it's like, see if it's slow. Sounds nice, it's got a nice crackle in the exhaust. Alright, no clutch, nothing like that. So let's just head out. No idea how we best launch this car, but see if we can do like a line lock sort of thing. Seems to work. Turn volume down a little bit in my ear here. Okay. So it definitely doesn't want to rotate on you like the GT3 does. Under braking as well, it's quite stable. A little bit of a slide there, but we are on cold tyres as well. Force feedback feels nice though. It doesn't feel too robotic. I was a little bit worried it might need some tweaking, but I'm just running the same settings I run for most other cars here. Definitely not as fast as the GT3, but that's okay. Don't seem to need to bleep the throttle or bleep the throttle? Blip the throttle. It's sort of a habit now from all the other cars I've been driving, but it's certainly, at least on the initial impression, it feels like quite an easy car to drive. Like it's like any car, I'm sure once you really start pushing the limits and you know that sort of stuff, then it becomes a lot more difficult, like to extract the absolute most out of it. But just to sort of meander around the track like this, it's quite easy to drive. I think there's probably quite a lot of traction control and stuff going on. Now, I don't have anything switched on that isn't sort of on by default for this car. But bring it around here, run a little bit wide out onto the grass, sort of trying to get to know the limits. But it turns in quite sharply and nicely. Ah! Into the wall. Oh dear. Oh boy, that didn't go so well. It's easy to drive, guys. Bang. So have a quick look at the damage model here while we have the opportunity. Ouch. Oh, didn't seem to do too much damage. But anyway, let's head back out again and try that again. Okay, attempt number 2. That was embarrassing. This day has not been a good day for me. Everything seems to be going wrong today. That's okay. Hopefully we'll have a better day tomorrow. We've got our community event in Project Cars 2 happening tomorrow, so check out the Discord community, link above my head for you right now for that if you're keen to get involved. Kicking off at 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Time on Saturday, the 7th of March. So tomorrow, if you're watching this when it's released. Whoa, overshot it. A little bit late on the brakes there. Sort of just trying to test the boundaries a little bit. So it's kind of, it lacks a little bit of character, I think, is probably one way to put it. Like, it dances around a little bit underneath you, but it doesn't sort of power slide and, you know, try to break away from you under brakes like the GT3 does. So it's a little bit harder to get to know. It definitely wants to sort of, as you power out of a turn, if you're too harsh on the throttle, it definitely wants to dance a bit, but it doesn't quite communicate what's going on. At least the initial impression, it doesn't quite communicate what's going on quite as clearly as the GT3 does. So it is easy to drive, but on the limit I can imagine it would be quite difficult. We made it a little bit further this time. Okay. So it's got really aggressive turning. I mean, obviously we're running the default setup at the moment. I haven't fiddled with the setup at all yet. We'll have a look in just a moment and see what options we actually have there for setup. But we'll do one more lap first. Now the tyres are a little bit warmer. So it's definitely a lot more stable under braking than what I'm used to. There we go, now we're starting to grip up. But being a little bit easier to drive, it'll be really interesting to see how races go with this car online. I think it's going to fall in the same class as the Audi, the front-wheel drive car, so be interesting to see whether they all race together or how that works. We'll have to test something out, maybe test it out on Sunday or Monday, the last day of week 13. There she goes, loosening up. But you can get on the power nice and early, which feels quite rewarding. I guess because it's slightly underpowered compared to what I'm used to driving, it's a little bit less likely to bite you in the ass when you do that. Wheel on the grass again. Go around once more and then we'll have a look at what we have in terms of setup options. Starting to get the feel for her now. It's hard to tell whether it's sort of a trail braking friendly car. It seems to sort of want you to brake in a straight line a little bit more, I think, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to sort of keep pushing and see where the feeling ends up. But if you wipe off the speed before you turn, it seems to turn in quite sharply, which is nice. So a little bit of a correction there. So yeah, the quicker I'm getting with it, the more confident I'm getting with it, the more fun it's becoming, which is good. There we go, kept it off the dirt that time. We're a second up. Oh, not quite. Lost a bit of time there. Oh, it's nice to be back in the sim again. I forgot how much I love it. Alright, so about 1.5 seconds up on our previous lap by the looks of things. Let's see what the time was. And then what we'll do, we'll have a big crash as well, because I want to see what this damage model's like. We'll crash at the end of the big long straight here. And then we'll bring it into the pits and have a look at our setup options. Alright. Next bend, and then we'll straight line it into the wall. Okay, here we go. We'll just keep it planted. See if we can get some bits to fly off. Alright, here goes nothing. Oh! That was a big crash. How badly damaged are we? Let's have a look. I can feel bits underneath the car. Okay, here it comes. Oh, there goes the bonnet. landed in the trailer of the safety car, actually. Let's zoom in and have a look here. Okay, let's go around the car here. Ouchie. So the wheels definitely fall off, we can tell you that. Both wheels are dangling there precariously. We've got a, is that a fuel cap? Looks like it, yeah. Fuel inlet. That is a very, very damaged Porsche. Sorry, Porsche. All right, let's jump in the pits and have a look at our setup options. So we've got our standard tire pressure adjustment here under chassis. Okay, we've got a lot. So we can do our ARB, we can do our brake pressure, bias, tow in, ABS settings as well. Okay, so we can actually adjust the ABS setting. I might have to assign that to my wheel so we can play around with that once we start racing. Spring perch, so we've got our ride height adjustment, bump stiffness, rebound stiffness, camber adjustment. So a whole plethora of stuff that we can tweak here. Let's do a little bit of setting up actually right now. Let's start by lowering our tire pressures. How low can we go? 103. Probably don't want to go that low. Might try 100 and might try 117. I'm going to pretend like I know what the hell I'm doing here. Don't want to go to the absolute minimum pressure and see what impact that's had on our ride height. Yeah, so too low. So we'll need to increase our spring perch a little bit to counteract that ride height. So spring perch adjustment on the rear as well, 104 and 104. Okay, so that brings us back into spec. Now the toe in maybe was accounting for a bit of that kind of crabbiness that was going on. I don't know. The camber I think is probably okay. I don't think we need any more ARB plates. I might crank down the amount of fuel that we're carrying though. And we'll just do a couple more laps here. So we'll take it down to 40 litres, say, or 30 litres will do. So we're not driving around with a full tank. Okay, let's see what impact that has on the handling. But good to see we've got a lot of adjustment here that we can play around with. So it should be a lot of fun. Be interesting to see what kind of setups you guys come up with as well. So let's head back out and see whether we can improve on our 224.73 just with that quick little setup adjustment there. Cold tyres again, it's hard to tell whether it's a little bit more stable. Looks like it might be turning in a little bit better. little late on the brakes again. Didn't account for the cold tyres. Yeah, it does feel like it's turning in a bit better, I think. Whoa, sliding. Ah! Oh well. Restart. Alright, so we've got a couple of laps under our belt to warm up the tyres now, so let's see what kind of a time we can pull. Try to get a good exit. Alright, come on little car. You can do it! Brake at the 400 meter mark, I think, or whatever that is, 200 meters probably. We're a little bit down, still not 100% confident in my braking markers. Oh, 0.3 up. Back to parity again now, 0.03 faster. Got a bit of a slower exit that time, I think. I'm going to brake a little bit earlier. There we go, that was better. Point 2 up, we're doing all right. So it feels really nice coming back on the power because it doesn't just bite you. You can really sort of dance with the throttle. You can feel what's going on with the car. Once the tires come alive, it really does kind of transform and you really get more of a sense of what's going on. So yeah, the more I drive it, the more I'm enjoying it, to be honest with you guys. A little bit wide there, lost a bit of time. 0.6 up. 0.7 up, 0.8 up. 0.9 up. Back on the gas early. 1.3 seconds up, 1.4 seconds up. Try to keep it pegged through here as much as I can. 1.5 seconds up. How did we go? 1.5 seconds up on our best. So the tweaking of the setup maybe helped. I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, look, really enjoying driving this car. I think it's a good balance between the more difficult cars like the V8 supercar that I've been driving recently and the Porsche GT3 and cars like that. I think it's probably going to be what I would call a good gateway car. I think for those who are feeling like they're ready to step out of the slower cars like the Skippy and the MX-5, for example, but aren't quite at the point where they're comfortable driving the GT3 cars, or they feel, you know, it's just, you know, a little bit too challenging for them or frustrating, I think this is going to be a really good gateway car for people like that. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this short little video taking the new GT4 Porsche for a drive. Leave a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and yeah guys, I'll see you again soon. Bye.